The Legacy of Kain series began back with Blood Omen in November of 1996. I wouldn't discover it until a couple of years later at a friend's house after school one day, and I was instantly intrigued. I mean, it's a game that starts with the main character, a noble, being shanked and murdered, only for him to make a deal with the devil, as it were, to return to Nosgoth, kill things, and help repair and save the pillars of Nosgoth. And then in 1999, the next installment came in Soul Reaver, a spin-off sequel to Blood Omen, which introduced Raziel, the first lieutenant of Kain, whom had surpassed him in evolution by growing wings. So Kain has a sissy bitch fit and rips Raziel's wings off and has him thrown into an eternal fire. After centuries of torture and burning, Raziel is chosen to rise and fight Kain. Neither alive nor dead and barely vampire, Raziel now absorbs the souls of the enemies he defeats, as he himself is a Soul Reaver, just like Kain's sword, the Soul Reaver. The story of the Legacy of Kain spans 5 games. It's then followed by Soul Reaver 2, which came out on the PlayStation 2, which picks up immediately after the first game, as the first game was, the first Soul Reaver game was finished on a massive cliffhanger. And then there's Blood Omen 2, which oddly came out then after Soul Reaver 2, but is based before Soul Reaver. It's a bit more confusing than that. I'm not going to go into it in this video, as otherwise it would be extremely long. And the 5th game in the series, which is also the final game in the mainline series, Legacy of Kain Defiance, has you playing as both Kain and Raziel. And what can I say except this series has intrigued me, and I've been playing it ever since I discovered it in the late 90s. The games are very well written, they are very, very well voice acted. They are among the first games, I think, where the voice acting was done incredibly well. It wasn't super cheesy, as a lot of PlayStation games were at the time, and the story is just, it's very complex, especially when you get into Soul Reaver 2 and Blood Omen 2. It traverses kind of time and space and etc, and it's very, very, I mean, you could say at points convoluted, but once you have it spread out in front of you, it's kind of, yeah, you can see where they were going with it. It was just very, I don't know if highbrow is the right terminology to use, but nevertheless, like the intro to Soul Reaver, what you can see here on the screen, was amazing to see back in the day, with the music and the voice acting and just everything. It was just so really very well done. And the first ever game itself, the first Blood Omen, is really, really good. It's sort of like an isometric top-down game, similar to like Baldur's Gate or like a hardcore Legend of Zelda, where you have to go from place to place. You have to unlock new abilities for Kain, like transforming into mist or into a wolf. Water burns you as you're a vampire. Sunlight weakens you and also hurts you. You can drain blood from people to refill your health. You can use magic. The game is incredibly hard. There was a lot of hit detection issues with the first game, and then the second game, the Soul Reaver game, focused more on sort of platforming, and that's kind of the way it went going forward. It was more of an action-orientated game with platforming and some a bit more hands-on combat, which was less like a roll of the dice, which is what Blood Omen. I think what they were going for, because you could be swinging your sword, kind of like the first Diablo. There's like a lot of, like, you could swing at them and you can clearly see you're hitting them, but it doesn't register as a hit. But the purposes of this video was for me, as a fan of this series, to just please put a message out and see if there's anybody else out there that wants this game series brought back. I think the Legacy of Kain needs to be revived. The games are so good. I think maybe not a full-on remake, although I wouldn't say no, but starting from the beginning, just remake or update Blood Omen with better graphics, just polish up the audio, put some quality of life improvements in there, make the game a little more accessible, make the combat a bit better, just do good things to it to make people want to go out and buy it. And also with that, like remaking the Soul Reaver games, or even I'd be happy with if all we got was just a Soul Reaver 1 and 2 HD remaster double pack. I'd be happy with that. Or like a Soul Reaver 2 and Defiance triple pack, just something. But there was a Legacy of Kain game that was going to come out on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, but I believe that was scrapped. There is some game footage floating about on the internet in places, but it was scrapped. There was also an MMO that was released called Nosgoth, where it just took place in the world of the Legacy of Kain series, and you could create your character and go off, and it's an MMO, so you know what that is. But that was unfortunately shut. The servers were shut down after a few years, and so you can't play that one no more. Now, you can still get all these games on PlayStation. You can get all of them pretty much on PlayStation and PC. Blood Omen is available for PS1 and for PC, but if you're going to get it, I'd get it now, as it's getting expensive. Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2, they're not overly expensive, they're pretty cheap. Soul Reaver is available on a PC, PS1, and on the Sega Dreamcast. Soul Reaver 2 is available on the PlayStation 2. You can get Blood Omen 2, I have it on the GameCube. You can also get it on Xbox Original and on PS2. And the same with Defiance. You can get that one on PS2 as well. And yeah, they're worth playing. They're really, really good, but they just need to be brought back. They need to be brought back into gaming. There's a lot of game franchises out there, like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is another game franchise that had 2 entries, which were really, really good. The first one was amazing. The second one was really good, but just never received a third. I heard that there's a third in the works and a HD upgrade to the first 2. If that's the case, amazing. I cannot wait. But like, I wanted a Star Wars Republic Commando HD port, and we got that, which was amazing. But I also want more Star Wars, Republic Commando games. And yeah, I don't know where the rights lie with the Legacy of Kain series. I don't know if Square Enix has them. But whoever has them, please do something with it, or sell it to someone who wants to do something with it. Because if I was a big time game developer who owned my own company, I'd be trying to get those rights, and I'd start off with some HD ports and stuff, and then I'd be working on new games in the series, or a full-on remake of Soul Reaver, at least with a sensible amount of backstory in it to explain who Kain is, where he came from, Nosgoth, etc. And then just improve on the combat, make the combat better, make the camera better, make the platforming better, the areas, just everything. There's so much potential in the Legacy of Kain series, and I feel personally like it's being wasted, just sat on a shelf somewhere. It's one of the only game series that a lot of people really liked, yet a lot of people don't know about, if that makes sense. It's crazy. It's the Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver just is entwined into gaming history with, the PlayStation 1 and 2 and all that, but just died a death. It just dropped off. Now, I don't know if that was because of the sales for Defiance. I'm sure some people out there really know, but if you do know, please pop it in the comments and let me know. But yeah, the Legacy of Kain series just needs to come back, but that's just what I think. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Have you played any of these games? Would you play any of these games if you're a retro collector? Like I said, if you are and you haven't got them, get them now, because the prices will shoot up. And yeah, please like the video if you like it, dislike it if you disagree with what I said. Please let me know in the comments, why you disagreed with me, or if you agree with me. Would you like to see this come back? Please consider subscribing for more upcoming gaming videos and for some giveaways that I'll be doing. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and until next time.